everyone, it's Anne from Curious Moon Design. I'm back again to look at making a cover for my journal, A Day Out in the Museum. As I've said before, I could leave it like this. It's rather a lovely book, but I wanted to make a bit more of a feature of the front. I've been looking through various images. If I could put something on the front here. I've got this book of postcards, Pablo Picasso's work. I'm not sure, I haven't got a lot of artwork in here. It's more sort of archives of history and journaling. So I'm not sure it would go with a theme. So, no, I love some of these. I worked on this one when I was at college, making it out of fabric, a weeping woman, and that's rather nice. But I wanted something a bit more with nature and to get the colour right, and so I found this card. I picked it up, or my daughter probably picked it up at the V&A, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and it's rather beautiful, and I thought it went quite nicely with the colours, all the beautiful flowers on there, and the green certainly picks out the green from the cover. Now let me just read what it's called. It's a textile design by William Kilburn, 1745-1818. And it's watercolour on paper at the Victoria and Albert. So I thought that would look rather magnificent on there. I don't know what you think. It brings out all the colours and it just introduces you to the journal, which is, you know, full of botanical images, as you've seen if you've seen the flip through. So I think I'm going to attach that with some double-sided tape. I could glue it, but I'm not sure it might, because it's raised, it might pull off. So I'll just get some double-sided tape for that. I don't know if there's a right way for this design. Can't see anything to pinpoint. I think it's probably that way. It was probably this is taken from a huge piece of textile design. I'll look it up later and see if I can find. I'm going to have it this way. So my tape, I'll cut 4 pieces off, just for each side. Okay, so I'm just going to put them on each edge. I love going to the Victoria and Albert. I love going to museums full stop. And there's so many in London. Now let's see if I can place this exactly where I want it. I should measure, but as is usual for me, I'm doing it by eye. That will horrify a lot of you, I'm sure. There, that looks very nice, but I don't think it's quite finished. I don't know what you think. I've been rummaging around in my craft room and I found these lovely page corners, and I think they would go magnificently on there. And again, I think I would have to, they haven't got any sticky on them, I'd have to put some double-sided tape on there just to get them to adhere there, because if I put glue on it's not going to get to each surface. So we've got those, but I also want to put a sort of a bit of a hue on it with some gold or something like that. I'm going to experiment. I haven't got anything exactly for the job, but I have got these old eyeshadows that were being thrown out, and there is a gold there. So I'm going to get a sponge, but I can always wipe this off if it doesn't work, but I'm going to, that's where the corner's going to go, so I think that's going to work. I don't want it too visible, just to give a bit of a shimmer. I've got another one here. So I might be able to do the edges. What else have I got? I've got an old nail varnish as well. I don't know whether that would be too much. I'm just going to try it where I'm going to put the edge. That's quite good too. Bit of sparkle, but it might make it shine. But it just shows you can use bits and bobs that you're throwing out. You don't have to go out and buy something, and experiment with it. I'll have a little trial on another book I have and see whether it's going to work before I actually go ahead on this book. Right, I have this very old book that I use for bits of paper, so I can really experiment on this. I'm going to try, see what that would look like at the spine. Quite nice. Right, this is a wet wipe, so it doesn't come off very well, so I'd have to be quite careful with it. What else? We'll try, there's a bronzy type eyeshadow. That looks quite nice on the edge there. That was a gold one. And the bronze one looks nice, but I don't think it might show up on the green better. I don't think I will use the nail varnish. I'm not being very terribly careful here, but I'm just experimenting. Yes, I'd have to be quite careful with that and where I put it. So I think I'm going to go with the gold and just put it in areas around the edge of the postcard that I've placed on the book, and it will just give a shimmer. I don't think it's going to detract from it anyway. Right, so that's a definite, the gold. I'll leave the nail varnish for another project. I think the eyeshadow obviously will just wash off if I don't get it right, but the nail varnish wouldn't. But if I like it, then I could spray it with some hairspray or something, just to, if I like the eyeshadow in place, just to fix it. Right, I'll go and have a try now, and I'll show you when I come back. Okay, well, I've put a bit of a shimmer on the book. Didn't want too much on there, but just a hint of gold, because it's got gold on the spine. So that's worked out well. So now I'm going to put the edging on. So I've put some pieces of double-sided tape on there, on the places where the embellishment is flat. So they should go on quite well there. I'll just peel these off. I've got a little marking here actually on the book, so I'm going to be guided by that. I'll just push the tape that's around the edge in, and that's quite firmly on there. You could just use 1, 2, but I'm going to put all 4 on. So I'll do that, then I'll come back and show you. There we are, they're all on, and I'm really pleased with the finish. It's got that little bit of gold shimmer and nicely framed with a beautiful image in the centre. I mean, there's lots of other things you could do with it, and you know, very cheaply made really. If you didn't have the frames, you could, if you're very good with your pen, gold pen, just make some framed edges there. This, you could get an image from a book, and you could, if you were doing a different type of journal, you could put buttons on there, brass buttons, all sorts of things, just to quickly perk up the front cover of the book. So I'll leave it there for today. Hope you enjoyed watching me decorate the front cover. I'll put the links below to the flip through of the journal, and do come back where I'll be crafting with paper and fabric. Happy crafting everyone. Bye for now.